those hurricanes just did a number on everything.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of our, that was just so stressful, one after another, one just 2 weeks later, and it was worse than, at least for our region, than the one before. So we can take a break from hurricanes. I'm keeping my eye. I know everyone, it's still my most asked question when I'm out. Any more hurricanes headed our way? And for now, we're not looking at anything. And hopefully this is kind of smooth sailing through the rest of the season. We have those fall fronts in our favor. That's bringing some cool, dry air. It's also kind of keeping everything out to bay, kind of acting like a goalie, like, hey, not coming in here, no way. This is the area we've been tracking for potentially Nadine. Nadine looks even hard to form, let alone head our way. It looks like a rainmaker for Puerto Rico and parts of the Dominican or into Haiti. This is where it would develop if it wants to, but chances keep lowering as the computer models just really aren't doing much with this anymore. We'll keep our eye on it, but if anything does develop, it dives to the south thanks to high pressure or fronts just kind of bringing it, pushing it farther to the south. And we're really not concerned about that area in yellow either. If anything did develop with that, it looks to stay a little bit closer to Central America. I know everyone's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Well, the latest models are just in our favor, bringing just kind of a weak disturbance with some rain and maybe some heavy rain to areas in the greater Antilles. But for us, we're not going to be impacted by that. If that changes, we'll let you know. But looking long term, there's nothing to suggest that that forecast would change at this time. We are going to stay dry and a little bit on cloudy and windy. So I wanted to see the comet tonight, but it was a little cloudy for that. We'll hope for tomorrow. Chances for looking at the comet get lower and lower as time goes on and it gets higher and higher in the sky. You look off to the west around sunset for about 45 minutes or 45 minutes after. And you want to stay away from city lights if you can. All right, it's cold. It's about 15 degrees colder than it was at this time yesterday. So normally you have your overnight, your low temperature of the day around sunrise. That's why we call it the overnight low temperature. But for the day parts today, our low temperature will occur just before midnight because it is cool and temperatures are still falling. We have very low dew points. Our dew points are into the 50s. And when you have dry air, that's basically, the dew point gives you a good ballpark of how low the temperature could go. Now with cloud cover and breeze conditions, we're not going to get to the 50s. If we had clear skies, calm winds, we would be seeing a lot more areas in the 50s first thing tomorrow morning. But I think many areas, specifically along the coast, will stay into the low 60s tomorrow morning. But still, that's the coolest morning of the season so far, and it will be the coolest morning of the week. After tomorrow morning, we start to moderate the temperature. So tomorrow morning, if you're like me and Christy and think, whoa, a little too cold. If you're like Peter, you're thinking, oh man, well this is tomorrow's your day. That's what you get, and then we'll start to see the temperatures warm up a little bit. Tomorrow, the winds, tomorrow by 1 o'clock, we still have 20-25 mile per hour gusts out of the northeast. That northeasterly wind becomes a little bit east-northeasterly, and that's how that humidity will start to moderate a little bit as we head into Friday and into the weekend. Friday, we still stay with a 15-20 mile per hour wind through the morning. However, during the evening hours on Friday is when it actually picks up a little bit. So if you have outdoor plans on Friday, take a look. 5:30 with 30 mile per hour gusts. I think the winds will let up a little bit over the weekend, but we will still see very comfortable temperatures, more seasonable over the weekend. But for tomorrow morning, below average. Low 60s for Naples and Lely into Charlotte County. A lot of upper 50s first thing in the morning. 59 for Palmdale, LaBelle at 60 degrees. Cape Coral at 62. 80 for tomorrow. That's it. It's a little breezy, but it is going to be below average. The winds stay about 20-25 for much of the day. Here, the next 7 days, we stay below average until the middle of next week. We'll stay dry through the rest of the weekend into the weekend as well. That's your first alert forecast.